question from Quee, who asks, what kind of desks do you guys use? What did you start with? And what about monitors? Something we haven't talked about yet.
Oh, good question.
I use an IKEA desktop.
Same.
My office is very long, so I have like a 10-foot desk with two like Linamon, I think, just white IKEA desktops strapped together. It's fine. It's a desk. It's great. The desk I started with was a second-hand writing desk that I got at a thrift store, which was about 3 feet across, and it was tiny, but it fit my one iMac, and that was great. What was it? Monitors?
Desks and monitors?
Yep.
My monitors are very expensive, but I got them on a Screamin' deal. So I used two 28-inch Screamin' deal. I used two 28-inch Asus 4K monitors.
Hot diggity.
Yeah, they were very expensive. And then the other one is my first ever second monitor that I bought, which I had to get like 4 dongles and a second cable.
Yeah.
As a second for my iMac. But it's just like an HP 27-inch Pavilion, and it's done vertically.
So I think for monitors, I mean, monitors are one of the things that you can absolutely buy secondhand.
I do not need either of these to be as as they are.
You can absolutely buy monitors secondhand. Big tip for that is universities. I don't remember what some of the terms are, but universities get rid of their tech. They will upgrade. They have a specific budget for this stuff. They will move some of their stuff out, regardless of how well it operates. It has to be functional for them to auction or sell it. But they will have these regular auctions. I assume that this is pretty universal. I know that this is the case around the United States. That they want to make some of that money back, so they simply sell a lot of their stuff, and it can be like in bulk and very inexpensive. How far away your monitor is going to be from your face should determine how large it is. So if you can get it a little bit closer, you can totally downgrade that thing to a 23-inch or something. You don't have to get like a 44-inch monitor unless it's going to be across the room. That's one of the things that I think you can use to sort of minimize the expenditures is lower the size, get it a little closer to your face. As for desk, I started with a really poopy, literally free IKEA thing. I still have it right behind my green screen. It still works perfectly fine. It's just missing one of its little strips on the side. It's literally free, $0.
Yeah, check your like free listings or cheap listings on like
absolutely
Craigslist, yeah,
for sure.
There's a ton of people who are in the process of moving or downsizing or just switching it up who are like, you know what, just get rid of it. I don't want it. It's cheaper. It's free. Take it out of my life.
Yeah, I don't want to have to deal with it.
Yeah. Also, just about the monitor thing, totally offside, but I met a Fortnite person who only played Fortnite on a 44-inch monitor about this far from his face.
Oh my!
I was like, how do you do that?
How do you even see that dude on the other side?
And he's like, well, I can just see everything. It's just right in front of me.
We gotta go like this to see everything.
Yeah, I know exactly.
He wants it VR, but not yet.
They said it was more immersive.
And to that point. If you're playing competitively, you need a high refresh rate. I'm going to put W's in all my R's. Refresh rate.
So I have a high refresh rate AC.
Yeah.
That's really where I put all my money into. And other than that, I did just upgrade, but it's a BenQ and it's a 27-inch now. But it's just the basic. It's nothing special. It was like $100. Like. You don't even need a monitor really for whatever you're playing games on. If you're doing a 2-monitor setup, just focus more on like your gaming one. If, like, what is your plan to do? Do you like shooters? Do you not like shooters? Then you don't need a high refresh rate.
Yep, exactly.
If you need to do all in one, then you're gonna want to find something that can handle that. But if you're doing 2, like I had 2 24 inches. I've had the 3 monitor setups. I've had 2 ginormous ones. I've had all sorts of setups. But my favorite is the 2. One that's a bigger screen, and then one that is my 24-inch high refresh rate monitor. So that's how I am.
That's another interesting thing too, right? Like we think like everybody's going to Google stuff, right? You're like, oh, I want to get myself a new monitor. Like, what's the best monitor for under such and such a? I have 2 monitors that I
You need a
use
TV.
almost exclusively for chat.
Yeah.
I've got chat over here, big long one. So it's in the vertical mode. And over here I've got OBS and chat again because I'm going to check my eyebrows and my hair and look at chat at the same time. That could be like 8 frames a second and I would still be fine. That could be the crappiest monitor
I've
I've
get a TV.
ever had. Exactly.
You don't even need a monitor for the other ones that are just holding
Exactly.
browser.
For my downstairs
focus-
rig, which is not going to be gaming,
Yeah.
I have an 11-year-old TV, an 11-year-old LCD TV that I would sell for $20 maybe.
There's so many
Cheap as heck.
like if you really need an attachment and it comes with it, like you can get like a converter, or their PCs still allow those different types of plugins.
Yeah.
Use a TV and then just make sure whatever you're playing on is at what you feel comfortable with.
Absolutely.
Or even just if you have a laptop or a tablet and you could have chat on
or a phone.
that.
Yeah.
Or your phone. Yeah. You could just have chat scrolling on another screen that doesn't have to be connected to a PC.
Yep.
You don't need 2 or 3 monitors if you have the game. I mean, 2 is helpful for OBS in the game.
Yeah.
But you can have chat on a completely separate device.
I mean, I know a few people who still stream on one monitor. Like once you elevate your setup, you should definitely be getting 2 because it eases so many burdens, and you can do that on a budget. But you do not have to have an 80 monitor setup to appear to be a professional streamer.
So
I need these fancy monitors.
Yeah, I have 3, but like my first setup was I had like this really old, it was my first ever computer, and my computer monitor, like it was literally like this like square. It was a square and it was like thick as a brick. Like it was so ghetto. And I actually used my mom's
same.
I used my mom's old iPad that she had that she wasn't using. I used that for chat for a long time on this like tiny little desk. So like it didn't cost me anything because I just had stuff like that, my parents had that I just took from them.
Yep.
And then for desk, like same thing, like a cheap like Office Depot desk that I had since like high school. It was like the tiniest thing. Like I couldn't even fit a second monitor on my desk at the time. And now I use a really lavish giant standing desk that you don't want to get on a budget. Yeah.